guys, and welcome back to the Cocoa Crafts YouTube channel after I think 2 months which I've been at home, not leaving the house, only in the morning because the heat where I live, it's been unbearable. And today I'm wearing a sweatshirt because this morning was kind of cold and you needed to wear something, and I was feeling so cozy and I was like, yes, finally. So yeah, basically I'm just doing a video on letting you know about the weather where I live because it's the only thing I talk about these days. Anyway, I'm doing this video to show you the new release for Coco Wawa, which is a new quilt pattern. As you can see here, I've got my samples. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about the pattern, and also remember that even though you have been following me for a while, you know that I mainly do dressmaking patterns, but last year I decided that this year I was only going to release quilting patterns because I wanted for my business to move to that direction. I was a little bit tired of all the dressmaking complications and things happening, and I was not really feeling inspired, and I discovered quilting a few years ago, and it's really been quite an amazing journey with quilting, and I don't know, I feel really grateful, and I just love quilting in general. So if you have never tried it before, you have to, because it's really, really heartwarming, and you know, mindfulness is in full motion there, and you're just very focused on the colors and the combinations and the designs. Is really, really nice. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna talk about the new pattern, and then I will show you the samples and talk about the fabrics and everything, so you have all the info, and I will leave lots of links below, so you also have like all the information that you need about the pattern, inspiration, where to buy fabrics, and you know, the whole shebang. Thank you for watching, and I will be with you talking about the pattern in a second. You should have seen my face when I finished that first part of the video. I was like, yeah, I should do more videos, like videos more often, because I'm just rambling and not saying anything, but please forgive me, it's been quite a while since I last did a video. Anyways, let's talk about the Cutting Corners Quilt, which is the new release for Coco Wawa. I'm gonna show you the first sample I made with this, which is this one. Yeah, I mean, you can see loads of pictures on Instagram, on the website, so you will see, you know, everything in more detail as well. But I wanted to show you this in real life as well. So this is the first sample that I made. There are 3 sizes for the Cutting Corners Quilt. Is a baby, and then a small throw and large throw. So you will find like the measurements as well on the website. And the large throw is not such a big quilt. I think that for my next one I'm going to go for 4 sizes. So I'm gonna offer 4 sizes. But for this one, I just wanted to go for 3 sizes as usual. I think it will be really nice. This one is the medium one, so it's the small throw, which I think it would look really nice on a sofa or just an armchair or even on the wall, something like that. So yeah, this is the design. As you can see, is made out of these big blocks, but on the instructions I tell you to stitch them together in rows rather than in blocks. So just so you know, the construction and the assembly of the quilt is done in rows because of the sashing, which goes, you know, horizontally, and then you have vertical strips of sashing as well. And you will see on these 2 samples that the sashing and the background are all the same fabric color, but of course you can play with this pattern so much. You can mix and match, you can go for prints or solids or both. You can do whatever you want. I will do a video actually on a different sample. Maybe I will do just maybe a couple of blocks changing the sashings. I'm gonna do like a little square on a different color where, you know, the sashing meets, like the vertical one meets the horizontal one, so it will be a little bit different. But yeah, you can see here, I think it looks so nice. And this sample is made out of this Ruby Star Society fabric, which is one of my favorite like ever brands of fabrics. I really love Lots of their designs are so beautiful. I really love it. This one is called a sketchbook, and you have all the information as well. And I partner with an UK shop called A Beautiful Thing. They sell so many beautiful, as the name says, Ruby Star Society prints, and they also sell pure elements and other fabrics. It's such a beautiful shop. I really love their selection of fabrics. I think it goes with my taste a lot and the things that I like and the colors. So yeah, you will have kits available there, and also for the other sample, exactly the same fabrics. And then I partner with other shops based in Germany and Canada as well, selling kits, so you can just go, you know, and grab one wherever you are. So I'm really excited about that as well. So yeah, this one, as you can see, it features all these like pinks and origins and yellows and like soft pink salmony color, and then the white. These are usually not colors that I would go for, but I'm really happy that I did this because I feel like it was like a little bit of a challenge, and I really love the result. I think it looks so nice. I'm more a solid type of quilt person in general, and I think for my clothes even as well. But for, I don't know, for this one it just works so well, so I'm really happy. And then for the backing I went for another Ruby Star, which is this Reading Nook collection, which I love. I finished a quilt using those fabrics, and I think the colors go so well with the front as well. So regarding the design itself, I have to say that it's fat quarter friendly, so that's amazing. You can use lots of fat quarters, and also what I was going to say is I have everything written down, so oh yeah, and it's also great for advanced beginners. I would say if you're an absolute beginner, I think it could be okay. It could be okay, but you need just a little bit of knowledge to understand like the cutting diagrams, because I remember when I first started quilting on my own rather than going to a class, because I first went to a class and then I did quilts by myself. It was a little bit of a challenge to understand the instructions, because the cutting layouts or the cutting like diagrams and the fabric as well, the fabric requirements, was a little bit challenging for me to understand. And then the more quilts you make, the more you get used to that language and the, you know, the maths and all the inches and all the thing happening there. So now I'm used to it, but of course if you're a beginner, you might have to get used to that. There is another quilt pattern in my collection that is more for like absolute beginners, so you can always do that one first and then move on to this one. But anyway, just so you know, I think it's best for advanced beginners, and then also of course intermediate quilters and advanced, it would be just super fun. And then also if you're a dressmaker and you want to start quilting, I think that because you already have this knowledge of how to use a sewing machine, how to deal with fabrics and measurements, it might be easy for you. It might be okay. So there you have that. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always send me a message or an email, and I will reply and help you in everything I can. And I'm doing a mini quilt alone on social media as well. It will start very soon, so just follow me there and you will see that. And also there are a few posts on my blog regarding some of the more difficult steps regarding this quilt, so there you can also see and follow the steps if you want to make this quilt, but you're a little bit like, I'm not sure if I have the experience, so you can also do that. Anyways, now let's move on to the second sample. I'm gonna put this one. Oh, I forgot to mention regarding the quilting part, I did it myself. I didn't send it to a long armor. Sometimes with bigger quilts or my samples, maybe I do one but then I send the other one to a long armor, but this time I did both myself. This one I wanted to do because everything is so straight, there are no curves in this design, which I think that's why it's good for beginners as well. You have the only thing you have, and it's nice to learn, is the snowball corners, but that's it. Then it's just the squares and the sashing. So I wanted to do like a curvy design rather than going for something straight lines. So I did these big, super big clam shells, and I used this book called Walk is Walk, and then there is another one, Walk 2.0. I have all the details of that on my blog post, and I mentioned that on lots of places on my website. And I followed the tutorial for that one, and you know, it's like an amazing pair of books, and I think it went pretty well. I mean, it could have been better, but I'm happy with them, so that's good. Anyways, moving on to the second sample. This one I work with another fabric shop in the UK. They sell amazing Liberty fabric prints. It's called Sew and Quilt, but they also have, I think, the biggest range I've ever seen in the same shop in Europe of pure elements or pure solids, which are all the solids and from Art Gallery Fabrics, which is my other favorite brand of fabrics. I love pure solids or pure elements. I think they changed the name from pure elements to pure solids, so I love them. I love all the shades. I think they are so pretty and perfect, so I always, when I have to work with solids, I always go for their fabrics if I can. So here, this sample I absolutely love. I think the design is, I think is really striking, and I think that because the background is navy, it's like very powerful. You can really see it, and I don't know, I think like the design pops up. And I also love how I used, for example, this pink, which is my favorite shade of pink from AGF, Art Gallery Fabrics, which is Rock Candy. I love it. I could use this pink for everything. So you can see here, I think the design, yeah, it really jumps out of the quilt. I think it looks amazing. It's my first time using a darker background for a quilt, and actually after making this one, there is another quilt I made for myself as a project, and I use also a darker background, and I think it looks so cool. So this one I really love. So yeah, I went for all solids, as you can see, and I changed the corners of the quilt, and I used this different color, and then I mixed them up. But of course, as I said, you can, I mean, work and play with so many designs. My testers, they just went, you know, rogue, and then they everything and changed, you know, fabrics, and they didn't even use some of them quilting cotton. They use other fabrics, so you can do whatever you want with your quilt. And then for the binding and the backing, again, Ruby Star. So yeah, it's another shade of this Reading Nook, which features tea bags. I mean, brilliant. So yeah. So yeah, this is the one. And then for the quilting part, in this case, I also use my workbook. So I didn't use any free motion quilting, not for my samples just yet, maybe in the future. So I used my walking foot, and yeah, I went for this grid. I really wanted to do something simple that just let the design speaks for itself, but also added something else. And I also used this, which I have here, is a changing color thread from King Tut. I think it's quite a superior threads, and the type is King Tut. They're made in Japan, I didn't know that. So I really love this brand. They change color as you saw. It looks amazing. I really love it. I think it's really cool. So yeah, this is the other sample. And honestly, I think that's it. Just remember that you have all the links below. That I will do a mini quilt along on social media that you can then go and review many times. There are also blogs, like posts on my blog regarding some of the steps of this quilt that are maybe a little bit more tricky. And that's it. I mean, hopefully you will like it. I'm really happy with this one. The next project, because I know how you're like, what is coming next? It will be the nutmeg jacket and trench. It's going to be the jacket version. I'm gonna do a quilt tutorial, a quilted tutorial. So I'm waiting for my fabrics to arrive, and then I will start filming, and I'm gonna do a quilt along, but I like a proper one, week by week. So hopefully you will join that, because nutmeg, I think, has been my best-selling pattern this year, which makes me incredibly happy. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. In the meantime, please take this pattern. Hopefully you will like it, and thanks so much for following, for watching. I think my next video is going to be not a quilted jacket. It's going to be what am I sewing, knitting, cross stitching quilting at the moment, and then the next projects that I have in mind to make. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, following, and I will see you very soon. Bye.